Welcome and welcome back to my channel. I am Florence from Living Hope Mixed Farm. You are very important to us and thank you for viewing our videos. Our topic today is a game changer. You will never remain the same after watching this and listening to this from the beginning to the end without skipping any part. I am going to discuss 4 top success stories of brooding that has made me succeed in brooding my chicken, in brooding day-old chicks. Therefore, you need to watch to the end so that you are able to reap the benefits and change the world in brooding day-old chicks. We are going straight to our points. As I said, I have 4 major practices that have been doing and has worked for me successfully, and I will also be able to give you 2 more bonus at the end. Therefore, please stick with me and be able to get also the benefit of the bonus, because they are actually part and partial of the best brooding practices that will transform into you reaping the best results from brooding your birds. So the first point is to ensure that you have a safe and comfortable brooder condition. Here you need a structure, which can be a house, can be a room, can be an enclosed shed in which you are going to brood your day-old chicks. The brooder should have adequate space to allow the chicks move freely, but also not too large to make them fail to locate their feeds and water, because these are still very young birds and they are trying out things. So when they are not able to get, they can easily get up, and this will overstress them, and at the end you will have higher mortality than expected. And also the space should not really, as I said before, the space should not be too large to help them locate feeds, but also the space should not be too large to help you regulate the temperatures, because temperature is one of the conditions in which the birds will either thrive or they will get problems. Therefore, make sure that your brooder is not too large so that you're able also to regulate the temperature to the required level that is needed for these chicks. Therefore, you also need to be sure to continue increasing this space with time as the chicks grow, because they will progressively require more space. So you start from a smaller brooding space, but be sure of continually expanding the brooding space so that the birds are still comfortable and safe. Under this, you need to provide adequate lighting. The kind of lighting that I'm talking about is that you should be able to read in this light. And this light should be provided day and night throughout the brooding period. This is to allow the chicks clearly see the feeds and water, and also to be able to feed whenever they need, because they have to feed day and night for proper growth. Light will also limit the intrusion of predators and disease vector carriers into your brooder, among other things. Therefore, you really need light throughout the brooding period to ensure that your brooder is safe for the chicks. Another thing is to ensure there is adequate ventilation for proper aeration. This will help in disinfecting the brooder by drying excess moisture, because you will be working with water. You give them water, you give them these chicks will be defecating, and the room has to be continually disinfected through ventilation as well. Therefore, the excess moisture that might be brought into the house, it has to be dried by the wind that at least perused through the brooder. And then also proper ventilation will prevent your chicks from suffocating and will also prevent them from getting diseases. You also need to, as you provide proper ventilation, you need to make sure that there is not too much air current entering into your brooder. Please avoid strong wind into the brooder, because this will cause discomfort to the chicks, and you will find them piling at some corners in the brooder, and this will actually cause mortality. When they pile for too long, you find some already dying because some will be on others, and they will actually press them down, and you find your chicks dying. You also need to have these facilities in place, this equipment. You need to have the heaters, you need to have the drinkers, you need to have the feeders already cleaned. You also need to have feeds already before you even bring your birds in. Make sure you have these things. And then you also need to have stress reliever and immune boosters in place, because this bird travel under very stressful conditions. By the time they reach your place, they're already stressed. You need to give them some multivitamins in water with the minerals in it, with some glucose in it, but they should be things that are formulated for the chicks, so that you don't give them something that is harmful to them. Therefore, you need to prepare and have these things already stand by waiting. Also, make arrangement for vaccination and medication of your chicks. This medication should also be chick formulated, so that whatever you give your chicks are not harmful to the chicks. Another thing is you need to provide good quality and dry litter. That is the bedding on which your chicks are going to stay. And make sure that this litter is at least 6 inches, so that the chicks are not affected by the temperature of the ground. Coldness from the ground doesn't really affect the chicks, because they will be lying on the litter. So keep this litter dry and be able to change this litter whenever necessary. You can't wait that maybe after 2 weeks there is no standard. If the litter gets wet, you should be able to remove that one and replace it. And you don't need to recycle the litter from the previous brooding to this one, because that one might already be having disease causing organisms, and they will cause you the lives of your birds, and that is not what you want. You don't want and that's not what you want to achieve. Therefore, make sure you have these things in place. Yes, we shall be able to talk in details about litter management in our next videos. Therefore, be in touch. Try to be in touch. Subscribe to the channel, and also turn on the notification bell, so that you are able to be notified by YouTube immediately I upload these videos. You have to avoid putting chicks from different suppliers in the same brooder, because they come with different conditions and risks that can affect the others. Therefore, you need to really avoid putting chicks from different suppliers in the same or in one brooder, so that you don't incur this problem. Also, avoid putting chicks of different age groups into the same brooder to avoid cross-infection. You find that one age group is more prone to infection than the other. Therefore, putting them together, you give a higher risk of them getting infections and diseases. Another thing is you have to ensure that there is biosecurity measures before you even bring your birds within your system, such as disinfectants should be there, and then you should also be able to limit the number of people and the kind of people that will be entering your chicken brooder, to ensure that people do not carry infection. Not everyone in that home or in that farm will be entering into the brooder section of your farm. You also need to ensure that even the persons or the people who are working in the brooder house are able to disinfect their feet and hands, even put on clothes which are clean, which are disinfected before they enter into the chicken house, to avoid bringing infections to these birds, because the birds are still very fragile, and people from other farms might come with the infections from bring infections from other farms. Therefore, you really need to be very keen on this, and avoid bringing birds from other farms into your flocks, especially during this kind of brooding. They are still very susceptible to diseases. Therefore, you cannot really expose them. The more you expose them, the more risk you are putting on them, and this can really cause you very high mortality and losses. You also need to make sure that you get the feeding and vaccination schedules from the suppliers The people who supply the birds, they always have this, and they are aware from day 1 to this number of days or week, you are supposed to feed your birds on this. You are supposed to vaccinate them first by this vaccine, using this vaccine. The next schedule of the vaccine is this. Get this. Do not assume that all birds have the same vaccination schedules. Newcastle IB, and then you go to Gomboro. No, different birds have different vaccination schedules. Even the same birds can be having different vaccination schedules with different suppliers. Therefore, you cannot assume or you cannot say it is the same. Therefore, before the birds come, make sure you have all these things in place so that by the time your birds come, you are not running around looking for the right vaccines, the right feeds, the schedule, and other things. This also, I will be able to share with you the best management practices to ensure that you have healthy chicks that will transform into maximum productivity shortly. So stay in touch, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell so that you don't miss. My second success philosophy is that you need to get your birds from a reputable hatchery or supplier. When you get your birds from okay, when the birds are the breeds are bad, it means that you can the birds can get they are more prone to diseases, they will grow poorly, automatically you will have low returns. Sometimes there will be very high mortality, among other things. Hence, you will actually incur losses, and I'm sure you do not want to get into that. Therefore, you need to get your birds from reputable individuals, reputable farms and companies. And this one, you just achieve this by doing your own research. Go on internet and then research. And you should be able to attend chicken farming seminars. They sometimes they are free of charge, but they are very important. We ignore them, but when you go, you learn exactly what you are supposed to do from the host's mouth. Therefore, we really need to do that. And we should know that doing this thing is actually not very difficult. Just get your time and be able to do your research. Or if you cannot attend seminars, visit chicken farms and see practically and hear from experienced farmers who are already doing the chicken farming business. And these reputable suppliers always, they have brands. They have brand names. You find their chicks coming on with the brand name, and their supplies come with the brand name, and it is very easy. And sometimes if you don't go for that, you can do your own search and confirm with other chicken farmers so that you're able to get the right quality chicks that will not give you much headache during the brooding or will give you disappointment when you are doing the brooding. The third philosophy is to ensure there is adequate brooder setup. This is not putting the brooder in place with safe and comfortable conditions, but now that brooder which is already in place with very safe and comfortable condition, you need to set it prior to receipt of the chicks. This is no longer comfortability and conditions. Now what is already comfortable and safe, you need to set it. And some of these settings are here. You need to clean and disinfect the brooder house and leave the brooder house under proper aeration. If you are using this brooder house not for the first time, it has already been previously used for brooding some other chicks, please do the cleaning and disinfection and leave it under proper aeration for at least 14 days to ensure that in case there is any disease-causing microorganisms already in this brooder, they are able to die naturally by the natural disinfection. After you have already disinfected, you still leave it because the disinfectant you have used may not instantly kill and destroy everything. Therefore, leaving it for a period of time gives you more opportunity to ensure that those microorganisms die before you introduce new chicks into that brooder. Another thing is on the day of receiving the chicks, you need to provide adequate heat. Remember, we talked about the heater, we talked about feeds and other things. This time now you need to provide to ensure that there is heat in your heater. Provide adequate heat in the brooder and ensure that the required temperature for the chicks is achieved before you introduce the chicks into the brooder. And that required temperature has to be maintained throughout the brooding period. Of course, they vary from day 1 to the last day. The temperature is not supposed to be the same, but you need to ensure that it is the right temperature and it is maintained. When you don't do the right temperature, you will be liable to losing your birds. Another thing is you need to set the drinkers evenly. They have to be evenly distributed with fresh, clean water, having some chicks formulated multivitamins, minerals, and glucose in it. We know that the birds should not really take long when they come. The birds should take this water, having this glucose and multivitamins and minerals, first thing to help them calm down and to help them get relieved from transportation stress. Different things actually stress the birds, such as transportation, heat, wind, noise, among other things. Therefore, they are actually stressed as they come. You will find some lying as if they are dead, but they are not. When you pick them from the transportation boxes, you put them into the brooder, which is having very good condition, you see them waking up and they will start running around because they're like, sure, I'm already relieved. So you need to set the brooder to ensure that the birds, when they reach, they feel that relief. And don't let your birds remain too long that you are still doing preparation after bringing them. Do this preparation before you receive them. So you need to really provide them with everything. And then after giving them this drinking, after setting in this thing, the anti-stress reliever and so on, you really need to ensure that the birds, when they come, they don't take long in the transportation boxes. So all these prior setups are done so that the birds are placed into the brooder immediately they arrive, to prevent further stress that will lead to mortality due to avoidable delays. These delays are actually very avoidable because when you do the prior setups, the birds will not delay. Immediately you bring them, you will release them from the boxes, and then they will start getting relieved from the stress. I'll also still be able to talk at length about how to feed and boost the immunity of this chicken in my next videos, so that you really have every nitty-gritty of what you need. Therefore, please subscribe and turn on the notification bell so that you're able to have my video immediately they are uploaded. The fourth one is to start your birds on good chicks formulated starter feeds. Yes, we may go for cheaper feeds and we do our own things, but I would really recommend that please do not start these feeds on the feeds that you've mixed yourself. Go for commercial standardized feeds. And you should be also to research on the feeds before you bring, which companies supply the best feeds. So for the first batch of the life of these birds, give them starter feeds from reputable company, and they should be commercial feeds, not the feeds that you have mixed by yourself. That would be the best practice, so that it is not the feed that will start reducing the quality of your birds. So give them the right feeds, because the quality of feeds equals the quality of the chicken that you will actually be having. And this will also reduce mortality because they will be growing well and will at the end give you very high and expected returns. So you really need to provide nutritious, commercial, a starter chick formulated starter feeds. For example, for broilers, we are supposed to give them these starter formulated feeds for 2 weeks, and then layers 6 weeks. Broilers, Sasso and Sussex 4 weeks, you see all this will transform into the quality of chicken that you want. Because like layers, if you don't feed them well at the beginning, they will not give you the right number of eggs that you want. Even for broilers, if you don't do the right feeding, days will go, the number of weeks will reach when you have not achieved the right weight of the broilers that somebody will want to sell. Then you will end up feeding them much more feeds for longer time because they have been stunted, and you will not reap the right money. So the feed should be and the feeds that you are setting into the room, they should really be well distributed and very easily accessed by the chicks as they are trying, because they are just trying to figure out what to eat and what to drink. Therefore, if you don't really distribute them well, some chicks will try to look around and they will fail because of the stress. They will lie there until they die. Therefore, they should be able to drink water and immediately turn here. That is what? There are some feeds that they're able to feed on. Another thing is you need to make sure that you have immune boosting materials for your chicks. You need to be able to use multivitamins and minerals that will give preventive treatment. You are building the immunity of these chicks so that they are not so vulnerable to diseases. And then there should be also be some chick formulated antibiotics that you will be able to give your birds with the advice and consultation from professional vet officials, so that you don't wait until the chicken have fallen sick, then you start managing them, because sometimes most of the diseases are viral and the treatment may not work so well. Even if it is bacterial, by the time you treat, you might have lost a number of birds, and that could be your profit, or it could have even eaten part of your money that you have put in the birds. Therefore, you need sure that you need you have immune boosting materials in place, and also some chick formulated antibiotics on top of the vaccine schedule and other things that you have been following, and making sure that the birds are already vaccinated very well. Another thing is you have to maintain the general cleanliness and safety of the environment. Yes, you did your cleaning the other time and so on, but it has to be maintained because birds are giving you byproducts and other things. So the environment, the brooder has to be clean, continue being clean and safe. So the environment itself and the equipments, the feeds and water should also be clean and adequate, and should be easily accessed by the birds. You should be able to ensure that there are means of preventing infection, parasitic infestation, and predators such as rats and other things. Because rats, cockroaches, they carry diseases, they carry parasites when they come into your. Therefore, you should ensure the place is clean, in that they do not find any need to come into that environment. Even if they try, the safety and the cleanness of that environment will actually not allow them to enter into your brooder. Another thing is also you need to monitor the growth rate of your chicks. If they are not growing well, be able to ask questions: why and how can I manage this? So you need to monitor the growth. Choose like 5 birds randomly on the day that you have received them and weigh them, and be able to continue choosing 5 randomly like that every week and monitor. If it now you are doing it very after a very long time, at least every week. But after 3 days, you can be monitoring the weight. Especially for the broilers, you can even monitor daily, because they have a very high growth rate, and the suppliers actually even give you how daily weight, how your broiler should be, or your broiler should be growing. Therefore, you should be able to see this, so that you know that I am going to hit the market need, or I am going to fail, and you work within that to ensure that you do not fail. Dear viewer, if you think you are getting something good from this video, please subscribe to my channel, so that you are able to receive any video that I post immediately. And then also leave comments, leave your questions, share your experience in the comment section. I'll really be able and be grateful to answer your questions. Also, you like the videos to encourage others also to watch and be able to benefit from it. Now we are going to look at our bonus. Thank you for coming up to this. What are these bonuses that I'm talking about? The first thing is you have to go for both professional and non-professional labor. Because the labor, the kind of passion that will be dealing with your bird will also affect the quality and the outcome of your birds. So if you are starting on a small scale, you can just get anybody who is passionate and able to do the work, and somebody who is able to follow instruction. You train them on job and they will be able to do the work if the birds are really few. With the more supervision at the beginning, but at some points they will be able to even do the work with very minimal supervision. But for those who are starting on big scales, you really need a combination of experts, experienced and inexperienced people, trainable people to balance the bulk of work that you are going to do and the quality of work, because these birds are actually very fragile and they are very valuable to you, and you do not want to leave them. Therefore, only if you bring on a professionals, they may not do the bulk of the work that they are supposed to do. But also, if you bring on a non-professionals, they may not do the quality that you may want to do because you are doing in on a big scale. Therefore, you need to balance this. And then you need to keep checking and observing your chicks for early identification of any problems and fix them, be able to fix them. Fixing them, that doesn't mean you have to do yours. There are some that you can do yourself, but there are some that you may need professional support to help you that. So immediately you identify any issue with your bird and you are sure you cannot handle it, please report or consult a professional vet official. And in case of any signs and symptoms of abnormality in the chicks, be able to control them, be able to consult the one that you are able to manage them effectively. Therefore, on medication especially, you need to seek professional advice, because even the medication that has worked yesterday may not work today, because these things keep on being mutated and new infections may come with the same signs and symptoms, but they're actually from different disease-causing microorganisms. And you find that these professionals know them, so you don't carry everything on your head. Be able to consult so that you manage these birds properly. So do not just leave your birds like that. Please be able to do that. Dear beloved viewers, I should be able to bring you more information and post new videos soon. Therefore, please, as I said before, please subscribe, give your comments, and be able to receive this, and we grow together with others. Like the videos, let other people also watch. Another bonus is here. You should have the philosophy of garbage in, garbage out. As a good, perfect, and successful poultry farmer or chicken farmer, have this philosophy that there is garbage in and garbage out. You need to get to know and keep in mind, be sure that what you give your chicken is what you are going to get out of them. And this may include, but not limited to, time. How much time do you give to your chicken? You do research, you do consultation, you check on them, you do that. The quality of feeds that you give them will directly transform into the quality of birds that you will get. Therefore, if you compromise on the feeds, be sure they will either die, they will grow slowly, they will not grip the right market. That is it. How about healthcare? If you do not take care of them, they will not actually make it to the right thing. And then the skills. How much skill do you employ? Do you keep on improving on your skills, or you dry up on the former skills or the knowledge that you know? What is the scope of your knowledge? Is it increasing? If you keep doing things, a wise person said, if you keep doing things the same way and you expect a different result, then you have mental issues, you're sick. Therefore, the way things were working perfectly last year or in the previous batch may not be exactly that one. Therefore, you need to continue expanding the scope of your skill and the scope of your knowledge in managing this chicken, so that you are able to also progress and grow. Otherwise you will either be stagnant, and after stagnation, the graph will automatically start dropping down. And then the safety. How much do you put in to ensure the safety of these birds? And comfort, because comfort also is one thing. When they are not comfortable, they will not grow, they will get stressed, they will get sick, they will die. At the end, you lose. Thank you for watching to the end. If this is really a game changer to you, kindly leave comments, kindly ask questions, kindly share your experience in the comment section. I'll really be grateful to chat and interact with you in the comment sections. For you to be able to get my next videos immediately they're uploaded, please click the subscription and the notification bell. All the best in your chicken farming endeavor. I remain Florence, Living Hope Mixed Farm. Thank you so much for watching. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Thank you.